Guys, Texas takes another L. Or is it an L? I don't know. Whichever way it goes, this woman right here is going to be the woman that we're talking about. Don't let the smooth taste fool you. This looks like a pretty smile, normal looking woman. And it's anything but normal. This story is, I mean, I know I keep telling y'all this, but each story just keeps getting worse and worse. And this is not going to be any exception. But a homicide investigation is underway after an autopsy determined that a 1-year-old Texas toddler who was reportedly found dead and her brother found dead late in September, they died of neglect. We're going to talk about some of these screenshots as well. Now, while Janaea Boyd, who is one of the kids right there, as you can see on the screen, cause and manner of death have been determined, the news reported that autopsy results for her brother, who was 2-year-old Terrikah Boyd, and I'm assuming that's Tariq because it's spelled T-E-R-I-C or T-E-R-R-I-C. Y'all know how we are with these black names. They look a certain way, but they're not pronounced a certain way, right? I'm assuming that's Tariq and Janaea remain pending. Now, on September 30th, Janaea and Tariq Boyd's bodies were found in their Temple, Texas home. Texas, what is going on? Like, it seems like every few weeks, every month, another state takes the mantle for the amount of bullshit that goes on. And it seems like Texas is trying to run away with it this year. Now, let's talk about this. These babies were found in the home, in their Temple, Texas home, with their with their mentally challenged, with their Black Queen, Mother of the Year mother, right here that you guys see on the screen, the Queen of the Year, Terrikah Haynes. This broad is 36 years old. She is my age. And she was reportedly conscious but unresponsive. I have no idea what that means. She was conscious but unresponsive. I don't know. 2 girls, ages 4 and 6, were removed from the home at the time. So what does all of this mean? That means that Terrikah Haynes, 36 years old, had 4 children in the house. Yes, Melissa, Boomer Sooner, if you guys did not watch the game this weekend, what a hell of a game. And, you know, shout out to them for doing their thing. We are now officially in the college playoff. I love it. Like I say, man, shout out to OU. And let me give a shout out real quick to Mom's Fur Babies. Y'all know who she is. She's the one who issues the challenges and all of that good stuff. Shout out to Mom's Fur Babies, from my heart to yours. Thank you so much for at least showing up in the chat. And she always puts something down, whether it be in the PayPal or the Super Chat. I appreciate y'all doing it. Anytime people find it in their budget to support what we do here, which is speaking for children who cannot defend themselves, they cannot speak for themselves. And I want you guys to think about this. She had a 1-year-old, a 2-year-old, a 4-year-old, and a 6-year-old. Back to back to back to back. Do you guys catch that? I can fix that chat on the screen. Let me try to refresh it real quick. See what happens. There we go. All these children back to back to back to back. So a lot of times what we want to do is we want to blame, well, the father probably walked out of this situation. Well, I'm going to tell you guys a little bit more about this story, and maybe you might not be so quick to try to point the finger at the father, knowing how mentally deranged this chick is, okay? Now, this grisly discovery was reportedly made after the Salvation Army asked local police to conduct a welfare check. An officer wrote that an odor of decay, can somebody please let me know that y'all heard what I just said? An odor of decay was emitting from the home, which was hot, and it did not have electricity or running water. Do y'all need me to read that again? Or did everybody catch what I just said? I think most of you might have heard it. They had no electricity. They had no running water. It was hot in there and it smelled like dead bodies. I wish I had my pen right now. Take a pen, bookmark that part of the story. We'll come back to it. Now, authorities said that one of the girls rescued from the home was found on the floor next to the mother. There was reportedly nothing to drink inside the home. Haynes, the mother, was arrested on child endangerment charges on October the 16th. Now, the news reported that as of Tuesday, she is facing 2 additional counts of abandonment or endangerment of a child with imminent bodily danger. Now, she remains in jail. Initially, they said about $150,000 bail. It's way too low for, in my opinion. But I think they upped it to $300,000, which is still too low in my opinion. What do y'all think? What do y'all think her bail should be? Personally, I don't think she should get a bail at all. But that's just my opinion. Now, pictures that were obtained from a person close to the family who asked not to be named. Of course, they don't want to stand out against this awesome black queen of theirs, you know, the infallible ones, the ones that can do no wrong. Of course, they don't want to show their face and come out and speak against this type of BS. But nonetheless, they asked not to be named, but they showed in these pictures clothing strewn about throughout the house, an overturned stroller, and an overturned bed. Now, for some people who ain't from the hood and from the ghetto, that might wonder about that and be like, well, what's the deal with the overturned bed? You know what that means? That means the goddamn bed was so filthy that they didn't want to throw it away. They didn't want to get rid of it. Maybe she didn't have enough money, but she just flipped it over so that way that they can get new usage out of the bed. Maybe y'all might not be familiar with some ghetto shit like that, but that's usually the type of thing that happens, okay? We're going to talk about this screenshot here in a minute. We'll come back to that. Put a pin in it. We'll come back because the father's name is right there. We're going to come back to that here in a moment. Now, one picture that appears to have been taken inside of the mother's bedroom shows trash, clothes, and books thrown out in a mattress with a large stain on it. I don't want to imagine what possible stain that it was, okay? Now, officers observed that the home did not have electricity or running water. How is it possible in 2019, especially in the wintertime, when it's cold and usually DHS, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of this. It's called the Energy Assistance Program. How many of you guys have ever had to go down there to DHS and you've heard that whenever times are hard, sometimes they'll just pick up your electricity and utility bills. They will pay for some of your electric bills, I think, especially when you have a cutoff notice. Especially when you have children, right? The fact that you have the ability to get food stamps, housing, get some, if not all of your electric bills paid. Some states provide car vouchers. All you have to do is just use the things that are there and just put it in the kids' hands and be clean. For the life of me, I don't understand. This is just flat out irresponsible. No excuse. There was also no food. I repeat, no food or fluids in the home for consumption. And that's coming from Temple spokesman Cody Weems. So to the family, if y'all want to email me some bull crap talking about, you don't have your facts right, Just Jay. You need to stop talking about these stories. You don't know what you're talking about. Well, maybe y'all need to talk to, I'm going to give y'all his name again, the Temple Police spokesman Cody Weems. Go after him. Email him. Stop sending me that shit. I'm just saying, I got my facts right because this is what they're going to use in court, okay? Now, the officers who found the children on September the 30th determined that the house had neither electricity nor running water, and water services had been disconnected on September the 3rd, which means that they had been off for 27 days. The only food in the home was a few bags of dried beans and uncooked rice with no way to cook or prepare the beans and rice. The temperature in the house was about 86 degrees. Now, how dumb is this woman to sit in this house knowing that there are these many issues in this house? If nothing else, for the biological father, why didn't she just give up custody if it was that bad? Now, y'all got to admit at some point that DJ Just Jay has a point. Can y'all admit that for me? Can anybody in the chat admit that maybe DJ has a point, especially when he keeps bringing us all of these heinous stories? Let me ask y'all this. What was the excuse that she didn't give up custody to the biological father in this case? No food, no electricity, no water. As y'all can see right here, we're going to talk about that. The father's name, let's go back here for a hot second. His name is Jamal, let me see, Jarmal Boyd, Jarmal Boyd Sr. It's either Jamal or Jarmal. I don't know if they wrote that wrong, but that's the name of the biological father, okay? So maybe he has some answers about this. But the children are found dead. 2 of the 4 children were found dead after Salvation Army employees who were working with the family to try to help this stupid bitch, right? They were working with her to try to help her, but they went to the home at around 11:30 a.m. on September the 30th, which is 27 days after her not having any utilities, to do a welfare check and got no response and then called the police. Let me ask you guys this question. What's the excuse? The fact that the Salvation Army came in and was helping her, knowing how many government services are already at her disposal. Hello? Anybody? Anybody? Interesting. Interesting. The 2 officers who answered the call discovered that the safety bolts were locked from the inside of the house, and they got no response when they knocked at both the front and rear doors, says by way of the affidavit. Now, one officer looked into the bedroom and then he smelled the odor of decay, which is the dead bodies. And I don't know if y'all have ever smelled that before, but I'm going to tell you guys, that's not something you ever want to have to smell in your lifetime. I know people out there in Cuyahoga, Ohio County that live on that street where all the murders kept happening, where those 4 dead bodies were found in that house. Maybe they might be used to that, but I'm telling you, that's not a smell that you want to experience. All right. The officers found another bedroom window whose glass had been broken out from the inside. When they removed the screen and shade and found a very young child, which is one of the other 2 that were found alive, who appeared to be very frightened and was on the ground by an adult female who was also on the floor, which was the mother. One officer entered the house through the window and moved the 2 young girls to a safe distance and checked on the woman identified as Terrikah Haynes, or whatever her freaking name is, right? She was conscious, but would not speak, and her pupils appeared to be dilated. Officers found the 2 younger children dead, which is the 1-year-old and 2-year-old. The 2 girls who were alive were taken to McLean Children's Hospital, were wearing clothing that had the odor of decay and trash and appeared to be hungry and thirsty. Because I love children, I'm going to read that again. The children were wearing clothes that smelled like their dead siblings and trash. And they had not eaten and they had nothing to drink. The 2 children described living on fruit snacks. Keep in mind, the Salvation Army was already helping the mother, but they were living on fruit snacks. Interesting. The children appeared to have been dead for some time, which is the 1 and 2-year-old. The mother, Haynes, was taken to Scott and White Medical Center, and she appeared to be in a catatonic state. Now, I don't know how many smart people we got out there that know what the word catatonic means, but I'll give you the definition because even I didn't know. But catatonia is marked by a significant decrease in someone's reactivity to their environment. This can involve stupor, mutism, negativism, negativism, or motor rigidity, and even purposeless excitement, an officer said. I hope y'all understood what that definition is. If not, just Google search it. The 6-year-old and the 4-year-old girls were placed into Child Protective Services, CPS. So let's just hope that CPS does the responsible thing in this story. And according to TPD, the investigation into Tariq and Janae's death is an ongoing investigation. Let's go ahead and give you guys the fair usage, and I'll show you guys the couple of videos that I was able to find on this news story. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107.
In tonight's top story, the 2 children found dead in a Temple home September 30th have been identified, and now the community is coming together to help pay for their burial costs.
Meanwhile, a county court is exploring placing the other 2 children found in that home with extended family. 6 News reporter Andrew Moore is in studio with the latest.
Guys, police are still waiting for the autopsies on those children to come in, but we now have their names. They are 2-year-old Terrikah Boyd and 1-year-old Janaea Boyd. Police say they will not release the name of the supposed mother unless she faces charges. Police originally told us they found the woman in a catatonic state, meaning she could not communicate with them. And at this time, police have no update on her condition. But the children's grandmother tells us that her condition has not improved. Funeral services for the children will be held at the Branford Dawson Funeral Home, and the Temple community came together Sunday to raise more than $700 to help the family with the cost of the burial. The fundraiser was on 35th Street, where the children lived, but organizer Christine Duran says they have seen support from all over.
People from all over Temple have been coming and dropping off items to be either donated, dropping off money.
The money will be given directly to the Branford Dawson Funeral Home. Meanwhile, the 2 children found alive with the supposed mother had a custody hearing today. A Texas Department of Family and Protective Services spokesman told me today the court is exploring placing those children with a relative out of state. Guys?
Andrew Moore reporting for us on what certainly sounds like a very difficult situation. If you want to share your condolences with the family, you can do so online. We encourage you to go to kcentv.com to find out how.
The fact that we live in a society right now where all the people doing fucked up shit, killing kids and leaving a kid in this environment, she had every opportunity to get these kids into the hands of somebody that could help her, and she refused. If she was not mentally competent, I'm going to say that again, if she was not mentally competent, then all they had to do was come in and say, you know what? She's not suitable to be a parent. Come in and take these kids away. That could have easily have happened. So I'm assuming that she probably put on a good face and a good front and convinced those people that everything was going to be all right. So I blame her solely. Now, y'all want to hear about the biological father? I can't tell you much, but all I can tell you is if you look up the memorial online, which is right here, I looked up the obituary, which had the information on Terrikah Boyd and Janaea Boyd, which are the 2 kids who were ages 1 and 2. It shows that their survivor, who is the father, Jamal Boyd Sr., is the biological father. Father, I guess you could say father. But it's showing, I think they might be out of Dallas, I guess. If y'all know who he is and how to find him or whatever, or if he just wants to talk with us and explain what happened in this story, I'd love to hear if he lost custody, what was going on with him. I personally don't understand it, but nonetheless, I think that we definitely have to stop incentivizing bad behavior. And by the way, before I forget this, do y'all want to see the GoFundMe? Oh, yes. There was a GoFundMe. Ain't that some stuff? And I know y'all know that there was going to be a GoFundMe. Y'all had to know that money was going to be involved. So let me show you guys this, because I don't know if they got shut down, but I'll show you what we got. Here we go. Boom. Let me make this bigger on the screen so you guys can see it. This is the GoFundMe that is now deactivated. Benefit for Tariq and Janae and surviving siblings. They raised a total of $380. There was a photo here, as you guys can see. of people at the memorial. And it said this fundraiser is no longer accepting donations. If you are the organizer, beneficiary, team member, or donor, sign in to see additional information. So I'm assuming that they took it down, but Christina Duran out of Temple, Texas was the organizer. So if you guys want to contact her and maybe find out why this was taken down, I'm assuming it was taken down for a reason though. But nonetheless, I think that's all I have to say about this story. Let me make sure I'm not forgetting anything. Let me pull up my link real quick. Okay, yeah, this is on the memorial. So let me go ahead and, like I say, she seems to be normal, but like I say, sometimes you cannot judge a book by its cover. A nice smiling, normal looking face, and this bride could be as crazy as the day is long. But let me go ahead and pause it right here. There were 4 children in this story. Let's not forget that. There were 4 victims in this story. 2 of them lived and 2 of them did not. The smallest of the 2, the ones who could not speak for themselves, the ones who cannot defend themselves, ages 1 and 2-year-old Janaea and Terrikah Boyd, probably died of starvation. I'm assuming if they were not beaten to death, I'm assuming they probably died of starvation. Of course, that is not an official from the autopsy report. And then you had a 4-year-old and a 6-year-old. The fact that this woman was not able to take care of 1 child, of 2 children, but she was allowed to have a 3rd and a 4th, to me, that's the type of thing that I believe that these type of people, it's not all black women, by the way, because I know we got some good ones out there, but for these type of mothers specifically, you need to take their ovaries out and drop them in a pot of hot water. Burn them. Take the ovaries. Hashtag take the ovaries. Women like this do not need to produce. It's too easy for them to get dick. And matter of fact, let me say this, because maybe some of y'all men out there might get upset with me saying this. One of y'all men out there, maybe it was even the biological father, there had to have been something about this woman that told you that she was a piece of shit. And I'm going to say something. I'm going to start getting on to these guys about sleeping with these trashy ass, nasty ass, dumb ass, broke ass, disenfranchised ass bitches. Ooh, did you hear me say that? Gonna get in your feelings? You're gonna flaggy my channel? This father of probably got multiple fathers. So let's just say we got 4 different fathers, right? 2 to 4 fathers. Y'all had to have known that there was something wrong and you chose to stick your dick unprotected in a broad like this? Come on, man. I know that if she was living filthy the way that those pictures depicted, then that means that not only her house smelled that way, but I can guarantee you, I bet you her body smelled like that. Ew. Ew. Huh? Y'all hear me? What y'all think her body smelled like if she constantly had this problem where the goddamn Salvation Army had to keep coming in and bailing this bitch out? Y'all think that she was taking baths? Y'all think they were giving the kids baths? The fact that people were able to walk up to the house and smell dead bodies ought to tell you something. And not only that, even her mental state, for her to be able to sit in that and smell dead bodies, not go for help, not ask for help, not knock on a neighbor's door, nothing. You're just gonna let the kids sit there and die with you just because you're a dumb, stupid, miserable female. And I'm sorry, to the guys and to the biological fathers, no excuse for this, man. No excuse for that. And I'm going to hold it to the men to step y'all dick game up. Can we get a hashtag in the chat? I think I like that. Step your dick game up, brothers. We have to do better. I learned almost 13 years ago to not put my dick in a blender. You heard me? I've not put myself back in that situation to continue to keep subjecting myself to child support in this effed up system and continue to just keep sleeping with random chicks and having a bunch of random babies out there. I've tried my best to be responsible and I've lived up to that. So not only do I preach that, but I live that. And I think that you have to walk how you talk. How about that? How about that for a novel concept? That's all I got to say about this story. I want to thank all of you people for listening. And I thank all of the ladies out there. I know that I think the majority of my channel is a bunch of ladies that listen. And I want to shout you guys out. I know we got some good guys out there. See, the cool thing about men, and I know Tommy talks about this all the time. Shout out to my brother Tommy Sotomayor. Usually with men, when you tell them some real stuff, they'll be like, you know what, dog, you right. You right. So what we need to do is we just need our women to step their game up also and just accept that and say, we all got to do better together. Let's step outside of our feelings. Let's step outside of ourselves. Let's step up for them. We've lived a lot of life. If you're in your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, or 70s, or whatever, however old you are, you've gotten a chance to see life and live life and gotten an opportunity to be productive. But what about Janaea and Tariq and their two other siblings? What about them? What is a 1-year-old and a 2-year-old going to do to provide and take care of themselves, feed themselves, clothe themselves, bathe themselves, have shelter and education? Last time I checked, they depend on us for every single thing that they get. Janaea, baby, you deserved better. Tariq, baby boy, you deserved better. To the other 2 kids, I thank the heavens above, and to the entities that exist. I am a religious guy, more spiritual than religious, but I believe that there was a reason why those 2 other kids were saved, and I'm glad that they are, and I hope that they get an opportunity to be loved and cared for, and they can grow up and just get a chance. I think that they'll take their chance and be productive in this world, and I pray that that happens, that they can grow up and be something great. For their baby siblings, I want to wish them my sincerest condolences from my heart to yours, Tariq and Janaea Boyd. Y'all deserve better, and we're sorry that you guys did not get a chance in this world, and everybody around you failed you. Okay? This is your boy DJ Just J. That's why we're the AFC. We advocate for children first. From my heart to yours, thank you guys so much for listening to the stream. We'll see you guys on the next stream. Please make sure you like, share, and subscribe to this channel, okay? We'll see you guys on the next stream.